Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another edition of the podcast, the DylanLasagna Live podcast. The one podcast we can only see live on YouTube. Let me pull up my screen here so you can all see this luscious face. Hello, it is DylanLasagna. I just woke up. No, I'm just kidding. I just woke up out of my bed and from a nap, and I got lazy. That's my day today. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty much today. It's actually been my whole week. It's been pretty hectic. My whole week's been pretty hectic. I had not just preparing for this podcast, but I also had to edit some other podcasts, non-live, from my other part-time gig. So that's been kind of crazy as of late. I've also been trying to figure out what's been going on with my internet in this house, because if you saw on Sunday, I was trying to have a pleasant time streaming Grand Theft Auto 3, but the stream kept crashing. It kept dropping frames. Remember that one special time I was playing GTA San Andreas casually here on stream, and the stream just kept crashing and crashing over and over again? It happened again with GTA 3. I don't know why. Every time I want to play GTA, the stream just wants to crash. The internet just wants to crash. But I don't want to complain about that. It's not worth complaining over. I mean, apparently, I just always pick the wrong time to stream. I mean, it's the only time I can stream. Like whenever I stream on an afternoon, like right now, it's usually reserved for the podcast. But nonetheless, that's pretty much how my week has been so far. Pretty busy. It's only gonna get busier from here. And the reason why we're doing the podcast today instead of tomorrow, it's because my Friday is booked. It's full, so I can't do it tomorrow. So I had to push it a day earlier today, in essence. So we got to do it today. We got to do it live today. Like now, viendo. But anyway, welcome to the show. I am DylanLasagna. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. You get to see not just the podcast, but me streaming some games and a bunch of other crazy ass videos here on the channel. That's not just a full-on niche channel. I like to do a lot of variety things. I like to spice it up here on the channel. And also, make sure you check your subscription feeds. Let me show you what I mean by that, because I guess YouTube just wants to further suppress my channel. What I mean by that is, if I go to my screen, check your subscription box. Check your subscription feed. Every time that I'm live, it'll show right here, unless if I'm shadow banned. If I am shadow banned and you don't see me in the subscription feed, go to my channel. And you'll probably see me live. And there's only one person watching. What are you doing? Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Share it with a stranger that your boy, am live. And also, the notification bell that I always promote. This thing right here. My cursor's not on, I guess. Turn that on. There we go. This thing right here, the notification bell, that doesn't work apparently, because again, I guess there's this large conspiracy theory of YouTube probably suppressing my channel. But I don't know. If you're not getting notifications, apparently, the last podcast again flopped so hard, nobody even got notified of when it was live. So I don't even know if anyone was notified of the podcast that's happening right now. So shit's been in the fan lately when it comes to the podcast. Not in terms of news, because hopefully that's keeping the thing afloat. Not that I had considerations about canceling this live podcast, this live video cast, whatever you want to call it. But it's just sometimes demotivating to not, like, people come in, chat about things that they also like, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But hopefully we can continue to move forward, push through, and see where it goes from there. Anyway, now let's continue on with some news. That's what we want to do here on DylanLasagna Live, to talk about some interesting topics that I see fit. None of that political stuff. I mean, there is that DNC, but I don't know. I don't see a chance in the election, but whatever. So we got our first on Sunday. I saw something from IGN, and it showed an update on WWE 2K Battlegrounds. And what I mean by an update is a roster update. The full roster has been revealed by IGN. And let's take a look at what we've got here. So, a handful of wrestlers, as you can see. Man, I got a lot of tabs open here. So we got a lot of wrestlers here in the base game. And there's an asterisk over there saying characters may require unlocking through game modes or in-game currency. So in-game currency can be earned or paid. So there are going to be microtransactions, just letting you know that. So here is the base game roster on this side. Clearly a lot of wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers that are in the base game. And then there's going to be wrestlers at launch. Now, just to be clear, these wrestlers that are going to be available after launch are going to be free. They're going to be free in post-launch updates. Just to be clear on that. But I want to take a look at this roster, because there are some very, very notable omissions and very questionable additions. Why are Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in this game when they're in Impact now? Why is also Curtis Axel and Eric Rowan in this game? These are 4 wrestlers that were released back in April. And if I remember correctly, WWE revealed this game in May. I think mid-May. Or was it? No, the week after these wrestlers got released. Let me check the channel. When I first talked about 2K Battlegrounds here. Because if my memory's still fresh, WWE revealed 2K Battlegrounds literally a week later than 2 weeks later. So literally 2 weeks later, after all these 4 wrestlers got released. And it's just weird. Like, why didn't they remove them if 2K or whoever's developing this got released? Do they not watch the product? Do they not know any news outside of the shows? Well, 2K, do you? Anyway, there are also this person called Typhoon. Who the hell is Typhoon? Let me search up this this individual. Typhoon. Oh, okay. So Typhoon Oh, he used the name Tugboat and Typhoon. Oh, okay. Oh, he was a key babyface ally of Hulk Hogan, and he turned heel to form the Natural Disasters with Earthquake. Oh, he was the Shock Master. Oh. He was the one that did the botch as the Shock Master. Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, I don't know. Then why would you put in the Shockmaster? Why would you put in Typhoon and not the Shockmaster? And Hulk Hogan. Well, if he was a key ally of Hulk Hogan, then why is Hulk Hogan not in this game? That's weird. I don't know. And if Rhea Ripley, one of the key NXT wrestlers that's in this game, is at least available in post-launch, then why is 2K and I forgot who's developing this game. Let me see who's developing this game. W2K Battlegrounds. Oh, Saber Interactive. Why is Saber Interactive and 2K not putting in other NXT standouts outside of Rhea Ripley? Why are they not putting the likes of Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai? They're right now and then back then, they were key to NXT. They were literally the key standouts aside from Rhea Ripley. Do they not watch NXT? Like, do they only pay attention to Raw, SmackDown, and the Legends back then? I mean, yeah, I don't pay attention to NXT that much either, but at least I know, I have a somewhat sense of who stands out the most, who's featured the most on NXT. Doesn't mean I like them, not all the featured wrestlers, but at least I know who's featured here, on NXT. It's just weird. It's just weird how none of these stand up, not even the NXT champion Keith Lee is on this roster. Now, granted, it says subject to change, but why are they not there in the first place? That's my question. So that's your 2K Battlegrounds full roster. I don't have full, as if this game didn't give me enough confidence already. This roster reveal further wanes it. It's just bleh. It's just bleh. Okay, on to the next piece of news. Kaden, what's going on? We are actually just going to talk about. We are just going to talk about that. The Thunderdome. We're going to talk about the WWE Thunderdome, the latest. I can't say greatest yet because we can't tell if WWE is going to screw this up or if they're going to make it something, I don't know, somewhat better than the NBA. But anyway, let's talk about what the Thunderdome is and address Caden's comment on the virtual fans. So we'll get to your question in a bit, Caden. So the Thunderdome, what is it? How is it gonna work? And what's the big hullabaloo? So I talked about last week about how WWE is finally moving out of the Performance Center and into the Amway Center. For those of you unfamiliar with the Amway Center, WWE has hosted a lot of events. And if you're a basketball fan, but for those of you that aren't, they host a basketball team called the Orlando Tragic. No, it's the Orlando Magic, but I like to call them the Orlando Tragic because they don't do shit. But anyway, I also mentioned last week's show, there were plans to implement a virtual fan experience. When I showed that video last week of WWE starting to go or pile into the Amway Center, they had the production trucks. Inside the production trucks, most likely, I'm just assuming, were 2,500 square feet of LED boards that were going to be used for this virtual fan experience, similar to the NBA bubble. Now, if you need a refresher of what the NBA is doing with virtual fans, let's take a look of how they're doing it. There's a better picture. Let's get this picture. Okay, now let me pull up my screen. Alright, so there we go. So as you can see, that's how the NBA is doing it when it comes to virtual fans. So far, I watched a couple of seeding games and a couple playoff games. I was watching the Thunder and Rockets playoff game before the podcast, and I couldn't hear anything from the virtual fans. There was a lot of piped in crowd noise. Like, I don't know. Was it if you are watching the NBA bubble games right now? Is that like actual like noise from the virtual fans like all over the world, or is that like piped in crowd noise? Because I legitimately can't tell. But my gut is telling me it's like piped in crowd noise. If you watch like any of the playoff games right now. But anyway, back to WWE. So WWE is going to have this virtual fan experience similar to the NBA, and we don't know how it's going to be yet and if it is going to be a thing. But on Monday, this past Monday, WWE officially announced this new concept called the Thunderdome. And here's the press release for that. So, introducing the Thunderdome. WWE is bringing the Thunder, and they're not bringing Oklahoma City and Chris Paul with it. So the Thunderdome, it features a state-of-the-art set, video boards, pyrotechnics, lasers, cutting-edge graphics, drone cameras. And this experience will take fans to unprecedented levels starting tomorrow. Well, in the press release it says Friday, August 21st, but you get the idea. On Fox, kicking off SummerSlam weekend. WWE has a long history of producing the greatest live spectacles in sports and entertainment, yet nothing compares what we are creating with Thunderdome, said Kevin Dunn. This structure will enable us to deliver an immense atmosphere and generate more excitement amongst the millions of fans watching around our programming around the world. With the debut of Thunderdome, WWE will take residency at Amway Center in Orlando and virtually bring fans into the arena via live video on massive LED boards in conjunction with the famous group and its proprietary technology for every Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view event. So unfortunately for NXT, side note, they're going to have to stay at Full Sail, and that means we're stuck with the freaking Peace Performance Center trainees acting as fans. So no virtual fans for NXT. They're going to be stuck at Full Sail. That includes TakeOver 30 on Saturday. So that's unfortunate. Starting tonight, on Monday when this press release was released, fans can register for their virtual seat to be a part of upcoming shows or at Facebook, Twitter, and blah, blah, blah. So, pretty much going forward, is the lease for WWE at the Amway Center is going to last until October 30th. So they got about at least 2 months, and I hope I'm hopeful that they stay there for the rest of the year because it would at least give a sense of normalcy for the foreseeable future, depending on how the Thunderdome experience works. So anyway, back to the Thunderdome itself. Over the past few days, we have seen how the construction's going on the Thunderdome, and it was only until yesterday and today when we finally got to see what the Thunderdome looks like. So here we have a video from Justin Barrazo of Sports Illustrated. I'm sorry if I botched your name. Here is a video from Justin Barrazo of the construction of the Thunderdome from Wednesday. So here they got the usual pay-per-view stage that they use starting from Hell in a Cell 2019. And then they got the giant LED boards, and they got this giant ring tent around them. That's probably not gonna be there once they have actual fans back in attendance. So this stage concept is seemed to be pretty cool. Unfortunately, they don't have any of the LED boards over here, but it's they don't really focus the camera on this side of the crowd anyway, which is still a sad reality. But anyway, and then today, right before I went live, let me see if I could pull it up here. There was a lot of updates of how this went. Okay. Oh, here it is. So Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet on Twitter revealed the following picture. So there we go. That's what the final product is going to look like on tomorrow's SmackDown. And there you have it. This is a sneak peek of the Thunderdome setup. So that's what it looks on the drone side of things. And this is what it looks like on the hard cam side of things. I'll get into my opinions of what I think about it afterwards. So on Tuesday, fans were able to register, and it filled up pretty quick because I did actually try to register for this thing just to see what it was like, just to see how it was gonna go. But unfortunately, it was at max capacity, so I'll see if I can try it again for SummerSlam, or Raw, whatever. I don't really, I don't know if I have plan. I don't know. I just wanted to do it just to do it. But WWE released some guidelines for the Thunderdome participants, for those participating in the Thunderdome going forward. And here's what we got for the law. So given the unique opportunity of the WWE Thunderdome, every fan is expected to participate and appear on his or her screen throughout the duration of the event. Any extended absence from the screen may result in his or her WWE Thunderdome seat being reassigned to a replacement participant or otherwise discontinued. We reserve the right to not allow you to participate or to immediately terminate your participation at any time in the Thunderdome for no reason or for any reason at our sole discretion, including, but not limited to, if your behavior is inappropriate or violates any of these terms listed below. Term number 1. No one other than you will be permitted to appear or participate in the Thunderdome. So only one person at a time. Even you, if you are at home, living with other people, it's only you that can participate. So yeah. We urge you to limit your internet capabilities to solely the device used for participating in the Thunderdome. Well, gee, that's easy. I got my computer, my Switch, and other people using the internet in my house. So that's easier said than done. WWE. That means no one in your household should be using your internet connection for other streaming purposes during your participation, like Twitch, Netflix, YouTube. We reserve the right to terminate or refuse participation in the Thunderdome pretty much. If your connection is unstable. Your behavior while participating in the Thunderdome must be appropriate and respectful at all times. Your behavior while participating in the Thunderdome must appear to be appropriate for a family-friendly, all-age television audience at all times. So no, WWE is not moving the TV-14, people. They only did it for a week. No smoking the weed every day. And no smoking gestures either. And you can't drink alcohol. You can't be drunk, unfortunately. You may say or do anything during your participate. Wait, what? You may not say or do anything during your participation in the Thunderdome, whether or not you are appearing in the television broadcast. That in the sole it's like anything inappropriate. I thought it was like you can't say anything at all. I was like, wait, what? So you can't say or do anything like if in the sole discretion of the WWE. That includes the following: constitutes a political statement or endorsement, is or could be reasonably offensive, obscene, discriminatory, or distasteful, including without limitation, making or appearing any obscene or lewd gestures, or saying or appearing attitudes, and pretty much anything like, no f bombs, and all that. So assume you have a hot mic, like pretty much like the announcers. Assume your mic is hot, pretty much. No violence, disparages or reflects adversely the WWE or any of its athletes, promotes, infringes, or violates the rights of any third party, promotes the brand of any third party. Your attire must be appropriate and must remain on at all times. So, no boobs. I guess this kind of shirt is okay. Like a sport. I guess like this kind of shirt. I don't know. This kind of hat. I guess. We must reserve the right to not allow you to participate if you are not appropriately attired. Your attire must not contain any immoral graphics, images, or text, any political statements, logos, etc., etc. Officially licensed WWE clothing is preferred. So you don't have to wear WWE clothing. It's just that you can't wear all elite wrestling attire. So they will kick you if you wear AEW, Impact, or other kinds of wrestling non-WWE attire. I mean, it's fine if you could wear this, I presume. But you just can't wear AEW or other non-wrestling stuff. The environment and background you are in during the WWE Thunderdome must also be appropriate. It must not depict logos, graphics, images, or other commercial identifications of non-WWE parties. Any immoral graphics, images, or text, any political statements, and all that stuff. So I can't have Squidward in the background. Is bold and brash trash for WWE? I don't know. I guess I have to invest in a green screen. That's kind of a bummer. So, those are the main rules of the Thunderdome. And, again, this is the sneak peek. Let me pull it up again. Let me get a better view of the sneak peek. So that's what it looks like. The Thunderdome, that's what it looks like. We are going to get a full look. These are just pictures. I can't really fully judge how the Thunderdome will be, because we've only gotten pictures of what it looks like. Now, from a first glance, it looks pretty okay. However, from the hard cam, like if we go to the hard cam, it kind of hurts the eye. It kind of hurts the eye, because there's so many squares, so many like different colors. I think that's gonna turn off a lot of people. Now, as much flack as I give the NBA, it looks like everyone is able to afford a green screen. No, but let me be real here. It's like somehow, some way, the NBA is able to like color blend every virtual fan into, as if they were all using green screens. With WWE, it looks cool. You get to see like what kind of backgrounds, what kind of different backgrounds they have. Now, unfortunately, my background sucks. I have a crappy bed right now. All I have is a picture of me and in the back, and a picture of Squidward. But maybe it could be better. But I don't know if it does hurt in people's eyes. Then I could see WWE trying to like fix it. Like they do have like time to fix it. It's only like it's only gonna be like one weekend. They're gonna be testing this out, and I do think that they will probably like adjust it so that everyone is color graded. Like as if they're like in a crowd seat. Now I don't know how it's gonna sound. That was the question that's the question that Kaden was trying to ask me. I do presume the virtual fans are gonna have sound. I do presume that they're gonna have sound. Ryan San did say that they have piped in audio for the most part. They do have piped in audio, which would suck. I really hope they don't. Because it takes away from the experience. It makes it feel fake. But what I'm really hoping for is that we get to like chant and chant for the wrestlers we really like, and say and chant for like react to the segments like how we choose. Of course, now granted, let's not get overboard by chanting CM Punk, AEW, Chris Jericho, and all the other like AEW propaganda onto WWE programming. No matter how bad it is creatively, but it I'm not trying to shill. It's just a WWE show, But nonetheless, I do think that aesthetically it looks fine for now. I just do think that on the hard camera side of things, it does look like an eyesore. I mean, at every other angle, it does look fine. At every other angle but the hard cam, it does look fine. Fine, whatever. Now, as for the rules, again, as long as you follow them, it should be fine. I know there will be like probably a lot of like rule breakers every now and then, but hopefully WWE gets it together, and this weekend's gonna be like a litmus test. It's WWE is gonna like figure out what works, what doesn't work, with this virtual fan experiment. And they're gonna make adjustments as the weeks follow, like I said, and like what I said, are they gonna make a change to the color scheme? Are they gonna just make it one color for the fan background, as if their fans are actually sitting in the arena seats? Are they gonna let fans actually react to the segments, or like how's it gonna work? Like, I don't even like, as for the like fan participation itself, for the fans that signed up or like and all that, are they gonna be switching like in between like who shows up, and then it'll be interesting if they do. Now, I will say this before I move on to my next topic. This is still not going to fix WWE's creative issues. this will only fix the visual problems. It's not gonna fix the larger creative problems, but at least we have some sense of normalcy being in an arena. And well, hopefully in due time fans can attend wrestling shows again, like at full capacity in due time. It's just gonna take a while. Now let me close all that. Now let's get to our next topic of the day, and that is a very certain someone in WWE is going to leave. Someone is going to leave, and WWE is about to lose a big name in their personnel department. And there's been a lot of debate on whether it's going to be a big loss for WWE between the casual marks and the hardcore marks. They're debating on whether this person will be a big loss to WWE or not. And I'll give my opinion on that when we get there. But let's briefly outline who is now leaving WWE. As you see in the thumbnail, as in the title, it's Renee Young. Renee Young is leaving WWE. At first, I didn't think it was real. I thought this website was phony as fuck. I thought they were bullshitting. I thought they were just Dave Meltzering. But this sports website seemed like they got the record straight. And all that. And they got, and other wrestling insiders confirmed it too. So Outkick.com first reported on Wednesday morning that Renee Young is leaving, will be leaving WWE after SummerSlam. So she's still working SummerSlam, but after that, we don't know when she's going to leave. Like it says, like Mike Johnson, Ryan Alvarez, Satin, like all them said she's leaving shortly after SummerSlam, but it's just a matter of when. So Mike Johnson added here is that we are told that Renee gave the company a notice a week ago that she intends to exit. There's no word when her final date with the company is yet. And then Outkick in their initial report said that while AEW is a possibility, and well, it's the fans' most obvious go-to, Renee has other offers outside the wrestling industry. And then later on in the day, Alex McCarthy of TalkSport, Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer, Satin of Wrestling Sheet, Sean Ross Sapp all confirmed Outkick's report that Renee was leaving, and even Paul Heyman confirmed it in the Instagram post, saying how professional, how kind-hearted, how humble Renee Young is, how great she is to work with, and all that. Now, some people do think that Renee Young was good. Others thought that she sucked. She sucked ass at her job. I do think that Renee Young excelled in WWE for the most part. Where she flopped, where I gave her a lot of flack, was when she was asked to do commentary. I think that when she accepted the job for commentary, WWE didn't properly train her, and you could see that on TV. She would react and commentate to a lot of the in-ring action with just ooh, ah. And she wouldn't really add anything to the segment. What was exactly her role? Was she a commentator? I know someone like Michael Cole, like the play-by-play. She was a commentator. Like, but what kind of commentator? Is she like an analyst like Corey Graves? Was she a play-by-play like Michael Cole? Was she like a Beth Phoenix like hybrid? I don't know. What we never got to know like what kind of role Renee Young played on commentary. But outside of not doing well on commentary, because she was never fully prepared by WWE for that role, she excelled at everything else. Like she was not that robotic person that WWE often makes their interviewers as she actually has a natural like nice like approachable personality. When it comes to interviewing, she knows what to ask. She sometimes goes off the script when it comes to interviewing. And even when it is scripted, she knows how to add some flavor to the script. And then outside of being a backstage interviewer, she's hosted the pre-show, and you know how she has been on the pre-show. She adds some. She's had her own unique style to it. Then she's had her own podcast. She had Unfiltered on the WWE Network. Then her role on Talking Smack with Daniel Bryan. She's had so many good moments on there. And then she had Backstage on FS1. Speaking of the last two things, Talking Smack and Backstage, Unfiltered and Talking Smack, I feel like WWE undercut her successes in those two things because, I don't know, I guess they thought she was succeeding too much. And I don't know why. Why do they have that mindset? Like, they don't want anyone to be bigger than Vince McMahon. I don't get it. I really don't get it. If you have, like, even if it's like a non-WWE personality that's doing well in the company, like Renee Young had been doing, let them succeed. Let them succeed until they can't anymore. Like Renee Young, like, was a likable person, both on and off screen, and WWE just pushed her aside. And then when it came to Backstage, it's not that Renee Young was bad at her job. She was good at her job as always. It's the time slot that FS1 Fox Sports put it at. Who wants to watch people shill at WWE programming for an hour at 11 o'clock in the East Coast or 8 o'clock here? Certainly I wouldn't. But then you also have her role on Total Divas. I think it was for like a season where you got to see her and Jon Moxley's relationship for like a season. You got to see how she was outside of WWE, like at least a little bit. But it's just a shame, like especially this year when Renee Young tested positive for COVID-19 and WWE, like when she went public with it, WWE was all pissed at her and like kind of like threw her under the bus by like not featuring her as often. Like she like didn't even go back to her job as a backstage interviewer, because that was the thing she excelled best at. She even take her role back as the pre-show host that now belongs to Charlie, what's her name, Charlie Arnold, Caruso, whatever her name is, the person that always subs in for Molly Karam on First Take. And then on SmackDown there's Kayla Braxton, who's not that great. She's not terrible. She's just average. But I don't know. I think Renee Young was one. Like I think she's very genuine. Like she's like very. I found her to be like a very nice person, a very approachable person. Like in WWE, I wish like I think I've seen her like a few times at like the pay-per-views, the recent pay-per-views I've been to. Like I think I saw her at TLC, and I think I saw her at Payback 2017. She was at WrestleMania 31, but the spot I was at was like, yeah, I'm not going all the way up there just to see Renee Young. But anyway, now just because Renee Young is leaving WWE, it doesn't always assume that she's going to All Elite Wrestling, you freaking fanboys. It doesn't mean she's just going to go to AEW to join her husband, Jon Moxley. Like I said, she has other outside wrestling interests. She had an offer from ESPN. She can go work with Fox Sports. She has a cookbook coming out, if I'm correct. So she's probably going to promote that first and then try something else. She's also into hockey. So if she wanted to cover hockey, she likes the Vegas team, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So she could do coverage for that team. I don't know what the network is, but you get the point. So whatever it next for her, I just wish her the best. And you should too. And just don't assume that she's going to AEW like right away. So speaking of AEW, man, they called WWE a sloppy shop. Well, how about them, huh? Next Thursday on Dynamite, AEW will be allowing a 10 to 15% capacity of fans. How about that for a sloppy shop? So here are the guidelines for what AEW, how they will be doing for when it comes to the small capacity of fans. So in this press release from All Elite Wrestling, they say the following. Starting next Thursday, August 27th, live open air shows in Jacksonville, Florida, open to limited physically distant spectators in compliance with state and local regulations and CDC guidelines. AEW announced it will host limited ticketed crowds of 10 to 15% for capacity for its live shows at the open air Daly's Palace Amphitheater in Jacksonville, Florida, starting on Thursday, August 27th. To safely bring back the energy of a live audience to AEW's shows, in compliance with the state and local regulations and CDC guidelines, a select number of physically distant seating pods will be available for sale in groups of 2, 3, 4, and 6 around the outdoor venue. For the first ticketed show on August 27th, a max crowd of 10% capacity will be permitted. Going forward, as long as safety protocols are followed meticulously, a maximum crowd of 15% capacity will be permitted for all line events at Daly's Palace. Now, that's kind of the silver lining here, as long as safety protocols are followed. So that's kind of the silver lining here. Limited tickets to attend Dynamite on Thursday will go on sale tomorrow. Guests will be required to wear face coverings that cover the nose and mouth and to physically distance from any person who is not a member of their pod. Guests will be also asked to not attend the day of the show if they have COVID-19, symptoms of COVID-19, or have had close contact exposure to someone who they know has COVID-19 or symptoms. In addition, all guests will have the temperature scanned prior to entry. An increased number of hand sanitizing stations will be available, and floor markings will also be used to assist with physical distancing. Industrial fans are also added this past year to further improve air circulation at the open-air venue. As a further safeguard, all tickets will be mobile and may be only purchased at AEWTix.com, and Daly's Palace will also transition to cashless payment and mobile ordering for most transactions, including food and merchandise purchases. And Tony Khan, the AEW president, said the following. We miss the incredible energy of our fans at shows, from what we heard from them, they miss being with us. With our enhanced safety measures in outdoor venue, we look forward to welcoming our fans back to become part of the action in person. Please be assured we are mindful and respectful of the situation. The health and safety of our AEW family and our fans remain the highest priority. Our leadership team and medical staff have adjusted our operations for limited and physically distanced fans in an outdoor open-air seating in an compliance with the most current state and local regulations and CDC guidelines. We can't wait for August 27th, as the road to All Out will represent the beginning of a new chapter in AEW history. So here is what the seating chart, Here's what the seating chart will look like. If I can zoom in on this, there we go. That's the biggest I can zoom in, but it's something nonetheless. I presume you can't see that. There we go. That's better. That's a lot better. Let me zoom out of this. There we go. So here is what it's gonna look like. So here it says the seats are sold in separate pods in 2, 3, 4, and 6, and available are physically distant seating in the 200s, which is right here, and the C level, which is over here. So everything else outside of that is not available. So nothing in the lower level and over here. So pretty much there's social distancing and all that. And this is what the capacity is going to look like. So from what I can see, there are seats of 4 there, 3 there, 4 there, 3 there. So it's like a little mix here and there. But what are my thoughts on this? I covered last week how the AEW invite fans were practicing in physical distancing. They had masks on. There even was a security guard enforcing the mask on rule. So I guess the invite only fans were enough to decide to go with this move right here. I still appreciate that AEW is taking precautions, like, you know, having all the social distancing, grouping individuals in pods and all that. I just think that even with the limited capacity, having like fans, it's not a good idea. I just don't think it's a good idea. I think my biggest issue is simply just doing temperature checks. I thought they were doing full-on testing, like they were doing with the AEW staff. You know, doing full-on temperature checks and the rapid COVID tests. I thought they were doing that kind of stuff. But how are we supposed to know if someone has COVID through a temperature check? And what happens if someone gets sick at this event? Well, that's just not AEW's fault, but it's the person's fault for going. And of course, there are going to be the naysayers that said, "Oh, nobody's forcing you to go, and just stay home if you don't want to get sick." Well, what about the people that are going to be, who choose to fly out, if that's even an option, who choose to fly out just for this one show, and future shows if AEW decides to have them, just for a 10% capacity show? Again, that's both on WWE. Not WWE. I can always say WWE because it's been a mainly WWE show today. It's like if someone gets COVID-19 from this Dynamite, it's not just on the individual because they chose to go. It's on AEW for having fans in the first place. But we have to find a silver lining here. We have to look at the other side of the coin. I don't like this idea of having fans yet. But at some point in time, someone had to do it. The NFL is looking at having fans. The Dallas Cowboys is having limited fans. The Chiefs the defending Super Bowl champions are going to have a small amount of fans. I think the only couple of teams that aren't going to have fans are the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants and Jets, the New England Patriots. I think there are a couple others, but those are the only ones that won't have fans because of city regulations and all that. But most, if not half, of the NFL teams are going to have a very reduced capacity, and I don't think that's a good idea either. But again, someone at least was gonna have to try it out, and I know we're still in the pandemic, and cases are still up here in the United States because, well, politics. They can't get their shit together. They can't find a vaccine yet, or at least try to get it under control. And because our president thinks that it'll just vanish away out of thin air, when we actually need science to take it away. But at some point in time, though, it's just you have to think: can we really stay in our homes forever? Can we really outside of going to work, getting groceries, getting takeout, or I don't know, going to the bank, or going for a walk outside? How much can you stay home doing absolutely nothing? I've even for a person like me that doesn't have that many friends, I don't socialize a lot. I don't go out to many places a lot. I don't drive, and I can't drive to many places. It gets real boring. It gets really boring inside this house. I do like to stream. I do like to do YouTube. I do like to watch wrestling, play games, watch sports, and all that. But it's those are just small sentimental things. It's I do even for an isolist like me. I want to live my life too. So it's just it just gets real boring here sometimes. And I understand COVID-19. It's still a new and very concerning disease, and a lot is happening in the world too. Aside from COVID-19, you've got riots now in California. You got wildfires, which makes it even worse. Then you've got the election and all that stuff happening. There's a lot of things that's going on in the world right now, but COVID-19 is still the thing that's on people's minds. But it's not going away. The flu hasn't gone away. Other diseases haven't gone away. And you know what? I guess people have to realize that, if they get it, we have to overcome it. And AEW has, while I disagree with their plan, while I disagree with them allowing a very limited capacity, at least they're testing the waters with having fans. With only 4 months, this thing happened in March. No, 5 months into the pandemic. So at least it'll certainly help them both financially, and also energetically, from a crowd standpoint. There still is reason for concern, for everyone's well-being. But we just can't pretend that people need to stay inside forever. But that's all I got for you on this episode of DylanLasagna Live. A lot to unpack there. That was a lot to unpack in this episode today. So I'm curious to see how AEW Dynamite does with even if it's a very limited amount of fans. But hopefully nothing bad happens from a health standpoint. Hopefully everything goes well,
Hopefully nobody tests positive out of next Thursday's Dynamite. And then I'm also interested in tomorrow's SmackDown, see how the Thunderdome concept plays out, like in full. We showed a little sneak peek here on tonight's podcast. So I'm very interested to see how that will play out. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you here tonight on Dylan Lasagna Live. I'm hoping I can stream GTA 3 again on Sunday night, but I'm just hopeful that my internet won't crap out on me again. But we shall see. I'm every time my internet craps out on me, that just makes me depressed and not want to stream. Every time I see dropped frames dipping like significantly at a rapid rate, it just makes me depressed and not want to stream. But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. So that's it for tonight. Make sure you like the stream, recommend to your friends, family, and all your loved ones, and even to strangers. And if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure if you don't get notifications about the stream, as last week's show indicated, then make sure you check out the channel whenever I'm live, or check your sub boxes. But most importantly, just check out the channel whenever I'm live, because that's the content I mostly make nowadays. But anyway, that's it for now. Podcast hopefully again next week on its normal day on Friday. I'm hopeful we get a Nintendo Direct next week, because Nintendo needs to share something about 2020. I will be super disappointed if they really wait 1 year, till the 1 year mark. If I'm dead serious. Their last Nintendo Direct, let me pull out my calendar here. Their last Nintendo Direct, no, that's not my calendar, was September 4th. That was a Thursday last year. It's a Friday this year. So if Nintendo is really going to make fans wait 1 year for a Nintendo Direct, I am going to be super disappointed, because they have nothing for September. They got nothing for November. They got nothing for December. They've only got Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and that's a port. Now, if it's the Super Mario 3D collection that's been heavily rumored, I mean, that's different. It's like a celebration of Mario. It's a collection of ports and remasters, but it's like your franchise player right there. But that's Pikmin 3 Deluxe is all we got right now, and Xbox is not Microsoft is not a threat because Series X doesn't have any games coming out at launch, and PlayStation 5 is pretty much Nintendo's only competition right now. They got Spider-Man Miles Morales coming out, Ratchet and Clank, the multiverse game, and then I forgot I forgot other PlayStation 5 games. But there are games coming out at launch for PlayStation 5, so at least Nintendo has something to be concerned about. But I'm hopeful you get a Nintendo Direct next week. The insiders are saying the 28th, but I'm doubtful. I'm very doubtful. They're so locked tight. That's gonna be on a Friday. If it is on a Friday, then well, I have my Dylan Lasagna Live episode for that week. But if we do get a Direct, I do think it's gonna be on Wednesday or Thursday. But if it is on Friday, well, hey, the leakers get a W. The leakers will get a W for that. But I don't know. I just would like some news on Switch games I could play for the rest of the year, because I am finally getting through finishing my backlog. I'm more than halfway done. I finished SpongeBob. I finished Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I finished Doom 1, the classic one. And then I finished Yoshi's Crappy World. I tried getting through Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but The thing I hate about Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, everyone's too damn slippery. All the characters I play as are too damn slippery, and it's the thing I hate most is that not only are they too damn slippery, they're so slippery, it makes them so prone to dying so much. It makes you prone to dying so much. It's not me sucking at the game so much. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is me sucking at the game so much, but it's such a major like flaw in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Everyone, from whether it's Mario, Luigi, Toad, even Toadette, even the Toadette Peach combo, they're slippery as fuck. It's like, I'm gonna run here, but if I want to stop running, slide. It's even on like the dry desert levels. It's like, run, slide, like stop running, slide. It's like I'm trying to avoid an enemy here. It's like run back, slide into the enemy, die. The new 2D Mario, man. The 2D Mario Switch port. Freaking stupid. It's freaking stupid. But no, I'm more than halfway done. I think the game I am on right now is Metro Redux. Metro 2030, not Metroid. Metro 2033. And let me tell you, that game is scary as hell. I get scared by that game as hell. I'm not the biggest fan of horror games because I get really scared of like horror stuff. And man, I will tell you, Metro Redux 2033, it's making my heart pound every time I play it. And my biggest problem with that game, it's like the storyline's okay, but it's too dark. Like not in terms of the story, but I literally can't see anything. Even playing in docked mode, it's too dark. I can't. There's no option to turn up the brightness, so I literally can't see anything. But I'm trying to finish up that game, and then I also have Last Light, Metro Last Light to finish up, and then I have to. I think that's pretty much it for my Switch collection. Oh no, I also have to finish Mario and Sonic at the 2021 now 2021 Olympic Games. That's that story mode, and then man, there's like a lot of games. So pretty much I'm almost there. But I just want games that I can look forward to in the future. So that I don't know. That's why I like the Nintendo Direct so much. The big one, not the partner showcase, not the mini, the big fat ass Nintendo Direct. And I hope we get one next week. I just don't know if they'll leak. I don't believe in leakers that much, or at all. But nonetheless, I just hope we get one next week. I know I said I was gonna say it's the end of the podcast and all that, but this is truly the end of the podcast. So thank you all for watching and watch me ramble for like 10 minutes now. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you keep checking the channel for whenever I'm live streaming. Again, that's the content I do mostly on this channel nowadays. But other than that, always be delicious, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone, and have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. If you're going outside, wear your damn mask. Wash your hands. All that good stuff. Don't be a stupid idiot and not wear your mask. Just wear your mask. I know it sucks. It gets annoying. But the more you wear your mask, the faster, hopefully, we get this pandemic will end. But anyway, everyone, take care. I'll see you next time when I stream, whenever that is. But that's it for now. All right, everyone.